When whispers started floating through the industry that Beyoncé had packed her things, taken her kids, and quietly moved away from Jay-Z, nobody really gasped. They just nodded, because deep down, the streets had been talking about this moment for years. What looked like a perfect union on the outside had long been crumbling behind the designer curtains, and insiders say Bey finally hit her breaking point.
To stay on the top. See, remember, your relationship was a business relationship, financial, to get to the top, to become billionaires. There's no love there. See, what's done in the dark will definitely come in the light. Keep your threats up. I'm here today, and what I got to say, I'm gonna say it. So don't make idle threats to me.
See, people close to the couple always said the Carters' marriage wasn't built on romance. It was a power play, a brand merger that turned two superstars into a billion-dollar empire. The love story was the image, but behind it was business. It's always been financial, one former industry executive spilled. They stayed together because it made sense for their legacy, not their hearts.
What I've heard about them as a couple is that they've been living separate lives for a very long time. So they together, but they living separate. And part of the reason why they're already living separate lives, and we may actually see one of the biggest divorces in Hollywood, is because Jay-Z is up next to be exposed. And it's only so much of these stories that Jay-Z can, he can pay off or he can block. He won't be able to stop this. And she knows it, and he knows it too. As far as who's gonna be the breakout victim / story, I don't know. Yeah, I might have to ask Jay something. I don't know. But I'm just letting you know that once that comes out and Jay-Z is exposed for his nefarious past, you're gonna see Beyonce divorce him. Okay, and she may or may not do an interview, but their publicist is gonna release something. She's gonna say, "Oh, the Carters have been separated for some time. They built this beautiful life, blah 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 blah." Now, before all this happens, we may get another tour. We may get another album out of both.
That illusion worked for a long time. Every photo op, every joint album, every red carpet moment was another move on the chessboard. But when the board started shaking, when whispers about federal eyes on Jay-Z grew louder, the queen began to retreat from the king, slowly, strategically.
John Carter is worse.
Uh-oh. Oh, man.
He's smarter. He's patient. He's not sloppy.
Mm-hmm.
This been lining up people he calls friends and stepping to the side while they get hit by the guillotine for 30 years.
Insiders say Beyoncé has been checking out for years, that she built her own fortress, her own team, her own money channels, her own hidden life separate from Jay's. They live together but apart, one insider claimed. Different wings of the same palace, and then came the fear. Quiet, but heavy. Because according to those in the know, Jay-Z's long friendship with Diddler, once just Hollywood gossip, has drawn unwanted attention. The same agents who've been building cases for over a decade have reportedly been watching that entire circle. And the deeper they dig into Diddler, the more names surface, Jay's included. It's not just tabloid noise. Federal files, long-sealed interviews, and resurfaced depositions hint that the investigation has been running in the background for years. And Beyoncé, perfectionist, strategist, mother, and knows exactly how these things play out. When the feds move, they don't miss. Jay-Z is up next, one YouTube commentator warned months ago. The Fed's been watching. He can't block it this time. Beyoncé's team, meanwhile, is reportedly operating like a crisis management unit. Her PR people are preparing for every possible headline. And her lawyers? They've been quietly rearranging assets. It's the kind of move only a woman preparing to escape makes. Then there's the insider who dropped the ultimate prediction. When Jay gets exposed, Beyoncé will pull the plug. It'll be announced like they've been separated for years. Peaceful, mature, all about co-parenting. But make no mistake, she's gone the minute the scandal drops. And the fans see it too. The cold red carpets, the missing smiles, the subtle silence between them. The energy has shifted, and not even the most polished photo shoot can cover that up anymore. As one of her ex-bodyguards once hinted, Beyoncé knows more than she lets on. She's not the type to wait around for the storm. She moves before the thunder. But the question now is, what kind of storm is coming? Because the whispers aren't just about infidelity or business games, they're darker, deeper. The kind of rumors that can end careers and rewrite legacies. And if the chatter about the FBI's quiet interest is true, Beyoncé isn't just leaving her husband. She might be running from a sinking empire. As the whispers kept spreading, insiders started piecing the puzzle together. And the picture wasn't pretty. What looked like a quiet marriage turned out to be a calculated retreat. Beyoncé, the woman who built an entire career on control and precision, was slowly backing out of a world she didn't want to go down with. Behind the scenes, Jay-Z had been panicking. Sources close to his circle say the moment the feds raided Diddler's properties, the phone calls began. Old associates stopped answering. Lawyers started charging triple. And Beyoncé? She started moving differently. One music insider said, Beyoncé isn't going to wait to be collateral damage. The minute the smoke from Diddler's fire starts drifting her way, she's out. See, Jay-Z and Diddler weren't just business friends. They built empires side by side, shared connections, and hosted parties the public never saw. The kind of exclusive, no cameras allowed events where rumors start and never die. And according to several insiders, the feds are now looking into those same circles, tracing patterns, money trails, and phone records that lead back to some of the most powerful names in music. And Beyoncé's name, though never mentioned in any investigation, sits too close to that world for comfort. She's aware of how fragile an image can be. One wrong headline could stain her legacy permanently. That's why fans started noticing the quiet separation long before the tabloids caught on. The distant appearances, the solo vacations, the lack of joint interviews. Every move screamed, exit plan. A former Roc Nation employee even hinted that Beyoncé's been untangling her financial ties from Jay for years. She's smart, he said. Everything she owns, she's rerouting. She doesn't want to be caught in anyone's paperwork. And then came the chatter that shook the industry. Reports that Jay-Z's name had been circulating in sealed documents tied to an older federal probe. Nothing confirmed, but enough to raise eyebrows. YouTuber Storm Monroe said it flat out. Jay-Z is next. They've been building that case. Beyoncé knows it, and she's preparing to walk. Jaguar Wright echoed that sentiment in one of her raw, unfiltered interviews. John Carter is worse than you think. He's patient. He's cold. He lets his people burn while he moves clean. That one quote alone made headlines. Fans started flooding social media saying, if Beyoncé's backing away now, that tells you something big is about to drop. But it's not just random gossip anymore. Even some people who once worked security for Jay and Beyoncé have come forward saying the tension between them was deeper than the tabloids let on. One claimed Beyoncé had begun staying at a separate property months before their last public appearance. Another said she ordered staff to limit contact between her team and Jay's people, like she was building a wall inside their marriage. And while the Carters have always been masters at keeping things private, the cracks are now public. Jay-Z's body language screams pressure. Beyoncé's calm feels more like detachment. And insiders say she's keeping everything as clean and quiet as possible because she knows what's coming. The headlines, the accusations, and possibly the fallout of an entire empire built on partnership. A PR strategist close to another A-list couple described it perfectly. When one partner gets caught up in something federal, the other one has to move fast. Clean house, create distance, and protect the brand. Beyoncé's doing exactly that. It's the kind of strategic retreat only a queen could pull off. Silent, graceful, but absolute. Because if the rumors about the FBI looking into Jay-Z's connections have any truth to them, then Beyoncé's not just leaving a marriage. She's saving her name before the empire collapses. And fans, they're not waiting for official statements anymore. One viral post summed it up best. Beyoncé divorcing Jay-Z won't shock me. It'll confirm what we already knew. She's been gone. Now the only question left hanging in the air, when that final curtain drops, who's walking out untouched? When word finally spread that Beyoncé had packed her bags, the internet went into overdrive. But those who really follow her moves knew this wasn't a sudden reaction. It was a long, silent strategy finally coming full circle. Because the truth is, Beyoncé never moves in chaos. Every step she takes is rehearsed, precise, and layered in silence. So when the whispers began that she'd relocated with her kids, pulled her team in tight, and quietly detached herself from Jay-Z's crumbling empire, it wasn't gossip. It was the sound of the queen closing the palace gates. Behind the cameras, things were far darker than the glitz ever showed. Insiders say Jay-Z had been restless for months, pacing his office, making calls at all hours, flying in lawyers and advisors. When you build an empire the size of Roc Nation, with money flowing through countless companies and names, you start to realize how quickly one loose thread can unravel the entire fabric. And the thread this time? The feds. Jay-Z's connection to Sean Diddler Combs had always been public. They were seen at the same events, invested in similar projects, even shared studios and business partners over the years. But what wasn't so public were the private parties, the invite-only gatherings that have now become the talk of the industry. Parties where no phones were allowed, no press, and no trace once the lights went out. People who attended those events, artists, models, even assistants, are now starting to talk. Not directly, but through whispers, through anonymous tips, through podcasts and clips where someone says, "I can't say too much, but y'all don't know half of what went on behind those closed doors." And that's exactly what's scaring Beyoncé. See, Beyoncé has worked decades to build her reputation as untouchable. The one artist who never got messy, never got scandalous, never let the industry's dirt stain her brand. But if her husband gets caught in something federal, it doesn't matter how innocent she is. She'll still be dragged through the headlines. That's why, months before any official announcement, fans noticed the signs. No more public outings, separate travel schedules, separate entourages. On tour, she was seen without her wedding ring. Jay-Z, meanwhile, started appearing alone at public events, his usual confidence replaced with something heavier. The kind of energy that comes from knowing your name might be sitting in a file somewhere deep in a government database. A source close to their team claimed Beyoncé started moving money months ago, transferring properties into trusts, separating her business entities, and having her lawyers review every joint contract. She was building a safety net, not for luxury, for survival. Beyoncé doesn't wait for disaster, one PR executive said. She anticipates it. She plans her exit before the headlines even break. And the headlines are coming. Ever since Diddler's empire started to crumble, the investigation into his connections has stretched wider than anyone expected. Multiple insiders claim the feds have been quietly interviewing people tied to both Roc Nation and Bad Boy, looking for patterns, shared accounts, hidden partnerships. Whether those rumors are true or not, the fear is real. Because Diddler and Jay-Z's friendship wasn't just two moguls collaborating, it was two men moving in the same spaces, often surrounded by the same people. For years, fans joked that they ran the industry. Now those same fans are asking if they ran too much. And Beyoncé? She's not sticking around to find out. Her former bodyguard, Javon Beard, once hinted that Beyoncé had seen too much of what goes on behind the industry's closed doors. He said she'd built her empire on staying out of the mess, but that she was always aware. Beyoncé is not naive, he said in an old interview. She knows the game. She just plays it smarter. That smarter move now looks like total detachment. Reports say she's currently staying at one of her California estates with her children, away from the chaos of New York and Roc Nation's daily grind. Access is limited. Even her stylists and assistants have to go through multiple security clearances. Her mother, Tina Knowles, is said to be helping with the kids, while her inner circle of longtime friends keeps things calm and quiet. Meanwhile, Jay-Z is doing what Jay-Z does, pretending he's unbothered. He's been seen courtside, hosting private dinners, even posing for pictures like nothing's wrong. But insiders say it's all smoke. Behind the scenes, his calls with legal teams have doubled. His meetings with business partners are shorter, his tone sharper. One insider described it like this: Jay knows something's coming. He just doesn't know when. And fans, they've been reading every move like it's a puzzle. One fan wrote, "Beyoncé's silence isn't weakness, it's strategy. She's protecting her empire before it burns." Another said, "This is giving the same energy as when she dropped Lemonade. When she's quiet, she's planning her next move." And that's what makes this whole situation so eerie. The calm before whatever's next. Because Beyoncé's silence doesn't just feel like distance, it feels like preparation. Industry insiders are already predicting how it'll play out. When the story breaks, her PR team will drop a perfectly worded statement saying the Carters have been separated for some time, and that they remain committed to co-parenting and mutual respect. It'll sound polished, mature, and emotionless, exactly how power couples end things when billions are on the line. And she'll walk away clean. Because make no mistake, Beyoncé's already built her lifeboat. Her tour money, her fashion investments, her brand partnerships, all under her own name, all protected. She's even rumored to have shifted her music catalog under a private trust, away from Roc Nation's reach. It's all about control. And that's something Beyoncé has never given up easily. Meanwhile, Jay-Z's empire shows cracks. Whispers say some of his investors are quietly backing out of deals. A few artists reportedly want off his label. His business meetings are full of tension. Too many people wondering if they're sitting next to a man about to face public scrutiny. One anonymous executive told a blogger, "It's like watching someone who built a castle out of glass finally realize the sun's coming up." The sad part, there was a time when Beyoncé and Jay-Z were untouchable. The golden standard of love, power, and loyalty. But when power shifts, loyalty fades. And now, the woman who once stood next to him through cheating scandals and public backlash isn't standing beside him at all. She's standing above him, watching everything fall apart from a distance. And maybe that's the ultimate move, because in a world where image is everything, Beyoncé's not letting anyone drag her crown through the mud. She's reclaiming her peace, her power, and her distance. Jay-Z may still have his money and influence, but Beyoncé has something far more valuable, her reputation. And when the storm finally hits, that's what will keep her name untouchable. The industry has seen countless power couples rise and fall, but this one hits different, because it's not just about love, it's about survival. And as one fan tweeted under a viral clip of Beyoncé walking alone into an award show, she walked in like a woman who already left. Stay tuned as Telematics continues digging into the fallout, the secrets, and the truth behind the world's most powerful couple. This story's far from over. And when the next piece drops, you'll want to be right here for it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, because the truth always spills one drop at a time.